Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you how you can use ChatGPT to help you evaluate texts and understand to what extent they do or do not do whatever the question is asking of you. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to make sure we have our extract to hand. I've got one prepared already. I've chosen a non-fiction one because those are always slightly difficult to evaluate at times. But what we do first is we get our prompt. So what we need to do is we make sure we're being very clear with what we want, and we're not asking it to do it for us, but we're asking it to help us come to the right conclusions. Because if we just ask it to do it for us, you'll never get anywhere. You'll never kind of learn exactly what's going on. So let me read this out to you. I've asked ChatGPT the following. I've been asked to evaluate the following extract and determine whether, in text 2, the writer has attempted to show how the further industry is struggling to remain accepted and relevant, evaluate how successful it's been achieved. Typical Edexcel question 4/question 6 evaluation question, with 15 marks on the line here as well, just to be aware of. Now in AQA, this will be a question that's phrased as to what extent does text do A or B. And this is a very common question across all exam boards. It's when you're looking to give that feedback on how well something's been done, not how it's been done. So I've said, following that, please read the text and guide me towards a balanced review, giving unsuccessful and successful reasons from the start, middle, and end of this extract. And then I do my really important like requirements. So say, do give me thinking points I can expand on, asking me questions in return to help my expansion. Do guide me like a teacher. Now this is very important. Okay, because you're getting it to help you, to guide you, to teach you, and give you those skills you will have to do for yourself in the exam. You know, I can't stress enough, it's really important to use this as a guideline, not a replacement. The replacement will not help unless you're just trying to cheat and do your homework in 5 minutes, which is I'm sure is fine now, but in the exam you will regret it. So don't do that. Always ask it to be like a teacher. So I've said, do not do it all for me, fail to explain yourself, and do not give me the answers, because remember, you're looking to get those clues. And then I've given it a bit of context. I said I'm a language student looking to get a grade 4 or over. I'm struggling with finding balance and critical evaluations for text. Now I put that in there because one of the highest blocks on the mark scheme, okay, one of the highest blocks is being critical about things. Anyway, so I've given it the question, I've given it kind of its task, and now all I have to do is give it the extract. So we'll just put it in there, and it'll either ask you for the extract again, or it'll try and just give you some generalized stuff. This doesn't necessarily work. So what we have to do is we have to correct it, and we have to make sure, okay, we give it the extract. So one thing you can do, by the way, is you can just click stop, and it will stop doing that, and it will stop doing its job, which is quite useful to do. So now I'm just going to say, you didn't wait for me to give you the extract. Can I show you it now? There we go. So effectively it will kind of say sorry. It will always try and be as helpful as it can, so it's so desperate to help, it will jump straight in there. So I'm going to give it the extract, and it should simply use its prior instructions to analyze it. Now you can just post this extract straight up and below your instruction. There's no harm in doing that. The only reason it's good to separate it apart is if you're using a ChatGPT model, it maybe doesn't allow so much text to be inputted at once. So look, it's done it all for us. It's given us tons of clues, the context of setting, the events. It's split it up between beginning, middle and end, and given us some weaknesses as well, and asked you questions. It's saying, oh, are they, for example, are they neutral? Are there struggles? What controversy? And I always think the beginning is a great place to start. A really strong evaluation, because it does kind of set the tone for the rest of the article, and it's giving you all that as well. And it's giving you clues, it's giving you questions to ask yourself, it's giving you some evidence, a couple of quotes that you might like to explore further. Nothing that is taking away from your ability, and just giving it to everything. And then it gives you a few kind of basic points towards the end. It also ends with a few extra questions, and it can turn a text into like a good hours revision. So if you are looking for revision, it's a fantastic tool to basically expand on that. I'll probably get onto that in another video on how to use ChatGPT to revise, but it is very useful. So say I've read all this, and I'm like, well, I'm not quite sure how settings, events, and themes, which of course is part of the marking criteria, comes into this. I'm just gonna say to it, how can I explore themes in this text in an evaluative way? Now, say you're busy and you're looking to do something else and you don't want a whole text. You're going to say, please be brief, 5 sentences at most. Remember, it will always try and be its most helpful self. So you have to sometimes guide it to be a little bit more reserved if you're running out of time. So bam, let's see what comes up. So again, it's going to go back and read the text, read what it's told you, kind of explore exactly what's going on there. And it's giving you 5 sentences. Well, actually, let's count them, shall we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's done it right. Sometimes ChatGPT struggles to count. And it's giving you a few basic points, very quick to look at, very quick to keep in mind, because sometimes it's easier to keep things in mind to go looking for them, as opposed to looking for something that jumps out at you with an evaluation question. People forget, it's 15 marks in Excel, which adds up to 30 across both papers. So it does require you to give it your all, and it is also the hardest question, I think, for writing. So there we have it. Hopefully you can now use this for yourself. Put any text in there you like, put any kind of question in you want. You can combine them all into one prompt, but if it doesn't let you do that, you can break it apart over 2, but you may have to kind of correct it as you go. I've shown you how to do that. So next time, I think I'm going to look at some more revision techniques. So let's meet back then. Remember, use AI, or AI will use you.